Well, thank you all for being here, and the more coverage we can give this conference, the more the national media understands how good it is. This is, obviously Oregon State's a really good team. They were the #1 seed for a reason. I thought they, in the second half, they out-executed us, especially to start the second half. They got layups and we got misses, and I thought that was really the telling part, especially of the turning point. And we sort of lost our focus. And, but I love these young women. These are tears right here because they're invested. They care. They care about UCLA. They care about each other, and they're competitive. They want to win. And I could not be any more prouder of the hearts of these young ladies. And the bottom line is they wanted this really, really bad. And I could not be prouder of their effort and these two leadership. And this will propel us into deep things in the NCAAs.
Thank you, Coach.
Smith. Corey, can you just talk about the third quarter and offensively? Gabby Hansen was back in the game. She obviously missed a lot of the second quarter and foul trouble. Did that make a big difference? What did they do that was different that you guys are struggling with?
Well, I didn't think they were doing that many things different in that third quarter. Gabby Hansen's obviously a great defender, but she can only guard one person at a time. And so obviously Jordan was getting some good looks in that second quarter without her, but I thought we were talking in our huddles that we're getting good shots. We just could not knock them down. We were getting some one-on-one opportunities, and we were getting the ball out of the double team, and we just weren't making shots. And if you don't make shots against them, they're so packed in the key that it's really hard to get second shot opportunities. We weren't pulling them away from the basket at all. Some of those shots we knocked down yesterday against Arizona State, we just weren't hitting those three-point shots. Herschler had some open threes. Nicole Cornett had some open threes. Not just in the second quarter, or the third quarter, but throughout the game. And when you don't knock those things down versus Oregon State, they just get closer and closer to the rim. So it makes it harder not only to make your first shot, but it's harder to get a second shot opportunity.
Lindsay Schnell, Sports Illustrated. Corey, Jordan is obviously awesome. She had to do a lot tonight.
She did.
Did you feel like more people needed to step up that she couldn't do by herself? Were you talking about that?
Well, the good news is that Jordan's been doing that all year, and so this is not a new thing. Jordan does a lot for us. I mean, she is a really good player on both ends of the floor. She did get a little tired at the end, and I thought maybe in hindsight, it was 2020, I might have needed to rotate Kennedy Burke on Weiss sooner in the game to sort of mix that up a little bit and give her a little different look. Jordan was just doing such a great job that you didn't want to take something away that was working. But obviously I'll look at the film and see that. But I think that the reality was she did get tired down the stretch. But I didn't think it was the fourth quarter that really affected us. That was when she got tired. I thought it was the third quarter when they executed and got layups, and we got mid-range jumpers and didn't make them.
Jordan, shots weren't falling. Does frustration build at that point, and does it make it even harder? And then my second question is, the emotion that you guys are showing tonight, there's still basketball to be played, but obviously this was something that you guys wanted to come in and accomplish.
To answer your first question, I mean, we weren't getting frustrated. It was just, it just sucked that we weren't making shots. But I thought, our offensive execution was great. I don't think it really frustrated us. I just think that, it just didn't translate on the defensive end. But I don't think it frustrated us at all. And I mean, obviously, we still have a lot of basketball left to play, but let me just say, I wouldn't. There's no other person that I'd rather play basketball with than this one right here. She is the epitome of a basketball player. Her heart, her dedication to this team is unbelievable. And sometimes it doesn't show on the court, but off the court, you guys have no idea how much she affects this game and affects our team. And it's emotional because this is our last chance to get a Pac-12 ring, and it sucks that we didn't get it for it, but I know we still got a lot of basketball left to play, but this one right here, she's going to do a lot of things, and I'm very proud of her.
Corey, to piggyback off that, you guys, you can make a very deep run. This is the toughest conference in the country. NCAA tournament is probably going to be a little bit of a break. how do you make sure that this emotion that you've taken and can channel it into something good?
I actually told them about some other Pac-12 schools that allowed a tough loss in the Pac-12 tournament teach their hearts. We beat Cal in the semifinals the year that they let it teach their hearts and go to a Final Four. Last year we watched Washington lose to Oregon State in the semifinals and let it teach their hearts and be different and better and propel them to a Final Four. So I think these are just great tiers because they're wonderful human beings. They're incredible kids. They compete like crazy and they're invested. So I have no doubt that because their hearts are invested, the hurt in their hearts right now will teach them. And they will allow that to propel them forward. We will be different going into the NCAA tournament as a result of this loss. And it doesn't make it any easier. It still stinks. We wanted this really badly. So I'm not diminishing it. But I do think that because we care so much and because we really are committed to each other, we will let this teach our hearts and we will be different, tougher, better going into March Madness.
Jeff Brown, Women'sHoopsWorld.com for Coach. On the positive side, you guys forced them into 22 turnovers, and I thought your guys' defense was just really intense throughout, especially Jordan's. Can you just elaborate on that?
Well, I thought it wasn't just Jordan, and I give, of course, Jordan so much credit because to chase around Weiss, I mean, this old lady had to be Weiss in a walkthrough, and I was out of breath, trying to, put our team through the plays. So even Coach Jordan over here said, "Coach, you okay?" So I know that it's really difficult, but I thought the rest of the team had some great deflections, 50-50s. We rotated really well in a lot of situations. We forced a lot, especially in the first half, and even in the fourth quarter, I thought we forced some really difficult shots and possessions for them. But the difference, we forced them into those turnovers every time we've played them. And the difference was we didn't capitalize as much off of those turnovers. We didn't get as many points off of those turnovers as the previous couple of games. We had a couple of run-out layups that we didn't finish, or sometimes if Jordan gets to the middle and is able to flip it back to a shooter, we weren't able to really gain that momentum off those turnovers on a consistent basis. And I think that hurt us. But I love the progress we've made on the defensive end. Coach Tony said this yesterday. He's like, at the beginning of the year, he was telling our staff, we're going to have to score 85 points because we can't guard anybody. And to watch this team's growth on the defensive end of the floor has been really fun to watch. And I believe that defense and rebounding are what you need to go make deep runs. And we'll get our rebounding better, but I think our defense is pretty solid.